What's up, Sooner Nation? Welcome back to another edition of the Sooner Surge Game Time as OU set to take on West Virginia Mountaineers tomorrow night, 6 o'clock. Uh, should be chilly football weather. Great night at the Palace on the Prairie. Before we start, make sure you have subscribed to our channel on YouTube, the Sooner Surge, that you turn on your notifications, you like and comment, and give us your comments on the three things we're going to talk about, which are key takeaways, Sooner standout, and hot take. So let's get right into it, guys. Let's start with obviously Sooners are needing to get back in the win column, get this ship back on track, I guess you could say. And we'll start with your keys to this game, guys.
Well, I will say that, man, they're supposed to be wearing the Unity uniforms. A great time to get out the alternate uniforms, maybe switch it up. Some people may have mixed opinions on those uniforms. But as you said, Jeremy, they've lost two straight games, have not played complementary football on both sides of the ball well at all in either of those two games. And it's been frustrating to watch, whether it's been the offense going through struggles or the defense starting off the game slow. It seems like Oklahoma has not found ways to complement each other. So one key to the game I have is to play balanced football on both sides of the ball and allow both sides of the ball to complement each other, which we have not seen a lot of this year.
To me, it's pretty simple. This game is going to hinge on what the last two games, you could say even more than that, turnovers. You can't turn the ball over. Listen, if OU doesn't turn the ball over against Kansas and OSU, even though they didn't play that great, they win both those games. End of story. So you have to go in tomorrow and you have to play with no turnovers like they were early in the year. Early in the year, their turnover margin, it's like flipped almost in the last few games, it seems like, because, I mean, they've gotten some turnovers, but OU's, I mean, what they have against Kansas, they had what, 5? And then last week 3, am I right? Something like that. So
I think
you're not going to win many games doing that.
And I think there's a stat. What is it? Oklahoma's losing the turnover margin. Is it like 8-3, 8-4, something like that? So 2-1.
Well, and the thing is, it's different. Like the one that Farouk got, the guy freaking plastered, put his helmet right on the ball. I get that. I mean, guy hit him hard. These are self-inflicted wounds that they're doing, and you just can't have that tomorrow night.
My key to the game tomorrow night, guys, is it's pretty simple as well. You talk about turnovers, you talk about balance, but I think it's two things that stand out. Got to make the third down plays on offense and defense. Got to be good on offense and third down. Got to be good on defense and third down. It's simple recipe for success. It has been for 60, 70 years in the game of football. OU has not been great lately in third down on either side, or even fourth down for that matter, I guess you could say, on offense. But so that's one of my keys to this game tomorrow is get back on the winning streak by doing these things, guys. And with that being said, who are you guys choosing as your Sooner standout on offense and defense?
Well, I mean, I'll start off. I guess we can start off with offense. My Sooner standout is a guy, in my opinion, who should have had 20-plus carries last week, and that's Gavin Sawchuk. I think he's due for maybe that game in which he gets the bulk of the carries. Now, I don't remember the exact amount of carries he had against Oklahoma State, but I think Sawchuk, I think he's going to have a monster day. He's due for one.
Offensively, I'd go Drake Stoops. I mean, we all know Dylan Gabriel finds his target. He loves to lock in on him. Right now, that's Drake Stoops. So I would expect Drake Stoops to get a lot of targets, a lot of catches, hopefully for sudden touchdowns.
Yeah, offensively, this is so hard because there's a couple of guys who have stood out, and kind of, you mentioned Stoops. He's been one that's kind of been the go-to guy, but I'm gonna say Nick Anderson. I think he's gonna go over 100 yards. I think they're gonna look to him more. We know that he needs the ball more. He's been elite. He did have the one drop last week that killed. That was absolutely ridiculous, that drop. But I expect him to be targeted more this week, and for Nick Anderson to have a big game. On the defensive side, guys, I'm going to go someone who I've not chosen on the defensive side, but in a while, if I ever have. And I think Woody Washington tomorrow is going to be the defensive player of the game. I think OU's going to stop the run pretty good and force Garrett Green. Garrett Green is not great percentage on accuracy, makes bad decisions when he's forced to throw the ball a lot. And I think it's a game that Woody Washington, who arguably played one of his worst games last week, will be much better this week. And I expect Woody Washington as the defensive player of the game, the Sooner standout.
Yeah, for me, I'm going to go with, the man who had his career game last week. He's going to have another big game because we're not quite sure on the health of Danny Stutzman as of today. So I think that Kip Lewis, he's going to have another monster game. I would not be shocked if Danny Stutzman, if he's not 100%, that maybe Brent Venables doesn't try and force him to have a heavy load. And I think Kip Lewis, guys, he's a special player. We've seen him out on the field. He finds the ball. He's around the ball nearly every single play.
I'm going to go with Peyton Bowen. I think Peyton Bowen's getting closer to being almost fully healthy. Who knows if he is, but I think he's getting closer to that. And I think he's going to make a couple of huge plays in this game tomorrow night or tonight.
Okay, there's our Sooner standouts. Viewers, we want you to drop your Sooner standouts in the comments, please. Get them rolling through here, please. Offensive, defensive standout. Let's transition to the hot takes. It's going to be chilly outside, but let's hope it's steaming in Norman. And I'm going to start the hot take so that no one takes it. I think Jackson Arnold plays tomorrow night, and I think he plays about 6 to 8 snaps. And not just because they're blowing him out. I'm not saying in mop-up time. That's my hot take.
Wow, man, that's quite the boldness there, Jeremy. That's a good one. For me, this goes upon my defensive standout of the game. This is crazy, but I think Kip Lewis has 20 tackles in the game. 20 tackles. I think Kip Lewis is going to have a monster day. He's going to be all over the Garrett Green QB run. He's going to hit Garrett Green a lot, man. I think Kip Lewis is going to have 20 tackles.
I'm going to do maybe a surprise. Kind of been not playing very much, not getting much action, not getting much looks, but I'm going to say Jaden Gibson tomorrow night catches a few balls and for sure a touchdown pass. And that's what I'm going to go with there, Jaden Gibson.
Roll with us on your hot take, Sooner Surge viewers. Before we get off here, we can't get off this without addressing something in the national football world, which is Jim Harbaugh suspended for the end of the season till the end of the season from being on the sidelines. You got a big one tomorrow, Michigan and Penn State. I saw the Manny Diaz TikTok about stealing signals. I thought that was funny. I am going to take the Nittany Lions in that game tomorrow.
James Franklin, I think he's won, maybe one, as you would consider a big game in his career. And I think it's going to stay at one. James Franklin cannot coach in the big game, so I think Michigan will win.
Yeah, I think this could go in Michigan's favor here, getting them really ticked off as they play Penn State. But listen, they are going to question this ruling, and I don't know if it's going to be official that he is suspended. I mean, they're really not happy with the way this ruling came down today on Veterans Day, where you can't even get with the courts being closed, you can't get a judicial ruling or something I was reading about. So it's not finished for sure. So we'll see. We do know that Harbaugh was on the plane before all this happened. So he's en route to Penn State. So he will be there in the area. So we'll see how that plays out. It's a wild ride, wild story going on. So yeah, I guess we can move on to scores for the OU game, guys. And I'm going to start it. And guys, I pick from my heart every week, and every week I said the OU is going to come out and they're going to fix this issue. They're going to fix it. They're going to dominate. 20, 30-point W. Can't do it this week, guys. Can't do it. I cannot put myself to pick OU to dominate this game. In fact, OU is barely going to win this game. And I'm saying something like 31-27. It's going to be another game offense struggles. They won't score 35 points, in my opinion. They're going to struggle. People will be out after the game talking about what's the offense, what's wrong with it. And you know why I'm saying that? What is there to make me think it's not going to be any different? UCF, Kansas, OSU, 3 of the worst defensive teams in the league, and OU struggled with. I'm not going to go out on a limb and say they're going to get it fixed this week. I can't do that. I know I usually do with my heart and as an OU fan, but I'm not doing it this week, and maybe it changes and they do. That's my hope.
Yeah, well, for me,
31-27 OU.
I think that Oklahoma's inability to score at a high rate has been hurting them a lot, as we all would agree with. But, I think defensively, they're going to play one of their better games of the season. This is a team that played a great, honestly, really second through fourth quarter versus Oklahoma State. Maybe you could argue maybe their best 3 quarters of defense outside of Iowa State throughout the whole season. There's an argument to that. So, I would say that Oklahoma is going to win with the score of, I got Oklahoma at 30, West Virginia at 13.
That's very close to mine. I'm picking the same score that I picked in Bedlam. I'm picking OU 31, West Virginia 16. I think the defense plays pretty well, and the offense still has some serious issues. They have identity issues, and we'll see that again. But that's my prediction. Drop yours in the chat, Sooner Nation. It's going to be live hype at the Palace on the Prairie tomorrow night, 6 p.m. We'll be on live tomorrow night after the game. Sooner Surge Double Trouble. So make sure you hop on that. Appreciate all of our viewers. Till next time, Boomer.
Boomer.